Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Burrows Red and today we'll be doing my January 2021 bullet journal setup video. I have also posted my 2021 setup video. If you haven't seen that and you wanted to get a look at the theme that I'm going for this year, feel free to check that out. I'll leave the links above and in the description below. So I started off here with a quick little title page. I did some cloud designs at the bottom and did the January text in a kind of like free-flowing form and whatnot. I really wanted this title page to mirror that stars and space kind of theme that I went for with the initial planning of this journal, and I think it was really cute. I actually really like how it turned out here. I just continued to use my black Tombow pen to really get that cloud design in and fill in that space with minimal bleed, and I also added in the gold gel pen around the borders to kind of give it that little bit of oomph, as It's Me Lemon would say. And we also had at the top there a continuation of that same space and stars washi tape that I've loved using throughout this journal so far. I didn't go too adventurous with this title page because I honestly just wasn't really feeling it. I think 2020 took a lot more out of me than what I expected, and I'm just trying to kind of build up my confidence again with art and creativity, and I do really feel that bullet journaling itself is helping me in that respect, but I'm still just playing it safe, keeping it cool, keeping the training wheels on. For the second page of that January spread, I actually decided to do something a little different. I like to put my events onto my monthly spreads just to kind of get a bird's eye view of the month ahead. But I also decided this time that I would do a content calendar as opposed to a calendar in general. I have an at-a-glance calendar at the beginning of the journal. I also have my future log, which has the dates written out. I didn't need another calendar, and this time I wanted to go for something that could track the content that I'm releasing throughout the month. This is something new that I'm trying, so I'll see whether it actually ends up being helpful or not, but I'm hoping that it'll help me track what days that I seem to be releasing things, kind of give myself a bit of accountability as well to know when something should be going up or when I should be thinking about creating new content or whatnot. All I did at the bottom of the calendar after writing out Monday through Sunday is I just had little boxes where I put a color to signify which content I was referring to. So I had Twitch, I had YouTube, I had TikTok, I had Instagram, all of that kind of thing. I'm just hoping that when everything starts getting or feeling a little bit overwhelming, I can look at this calendar and be like, okay, I'm going to break this down into the things that I need to be doing roughly at this time of the month. Have I done enough posts on Instagram? Have I done enough on TikTok? La 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 la. The life of a content creator is unfortunately posting a lot of content. And of course, to finish it all off, just as a kind of little cute accent, I added more of that beautiful washi tape. And, you know, more gold because I cannot help myself at this point. I'm addicted. My weekly spreads are actually fairly simple. I just like to track each day, the date, then put on their events, tasks, notes, and that's honestly about it. I'm not a kind of person who works well with habit trackers, so I don't like to say track my water or my exercise or things like that, because I find it demotivates me more than motivates me. And I like to, as counterintuitive as it sounds, I like to spend the least amount of time in my journal as I can. I want it to work for me as efficiently as possible, while also giving me the opportunity to set up these nice, beautiful spreads at the start of each week. I know that seems really backwards, seeing as I am literally doing a video for you now that has taken me 1 to 2 hours to film on its own of me just drawing in things for my journal. Once I've set up my journal, I like to kind of use it as minimally as possible. I like to use these times to set myself up for success in the best way I can, so that I can use this journal efficiently. I'm busy, I'm posting content everywhere apparently, and I need to make sure that I've got everything under control. But anyway, even this simple design you'll see there, I actually made a mistake with my highlighter as well. I managed to let that bleed into the black pen at the top. So all I did was just cover that up with some washi tape and we can pretend it didn't happen. And there, something simple that I can go back to and fill in each day, or even every couple of days, and just go from there. I tend to not fill out my days in advance, simply because I try to leave as much space as I can in my journal in case I end up having an absolutely huge day that I need a bunch of notes for, a bunch of events, a bunch of tasks, things like that. I like to make sure that I have that space available. And I don't tend to fill up the whole thing usually, so there's usually a little bit of space to play around with, so I don't like to constrict myself. And that's something that I've learned from doing bullet journaling for the last year as well, is just, I find that when you only give yourself a small amount of space to work with something, you kind of end up limiting yourself in a way. It becomes less of a brain dump and more of a hindrance. One of the best things I've found with bullet journaling is being able to take the thoughts and things in your brain and put them down onto paper. So anything that is going to stop you from doing that is going to be a bad thing, or isn't going to work as well for you as what you would hope. The reason I moved away from traditional planners was because I didn't find that I had the space for the things that I wanted to write about. And now that I have my own bullet journal, I can have as much room as I need. So in that essence as well, all I did to move on to the next few spreads was to actually leave 5 blank pages, just to make sure that I had plenty of room to fill out my weekly spreads and give myself as much of that space as I needed. The next spread is something that I also haven't done, but I wanted to try and branch out and do something different. I actually tried to do a spread specifically as a brain dump. I had this cool design that I found on Pinterest that I really wanted to recreate, which you'll see in the video there as well, which is essentially a planet with the word brain dump in the center and with this kind of cool effect going on. I think once it's filled out with some of my thoughts and feelings and notes and things, I think it'll be a really interesting spread, and it always feels nice to know that there is a place specifically for me to just write things down. Something about that kind of frees up a spot in my brain. I don't know if I'm just talking ridiculous now, but it makes sense, I promise. Try it for yourself and maybe you'll have that free space in your brain too. Maybe it's just that last brain cells left the building and I'm all done or something. I don't know. I'm trying to explain this as best as I can. This might also be a good time to mention that you might notice the release of this video that I'm a few weeks late for this one here. It's actually because I lost access to my YouTube account. My Google account was compromised and it meant that I didn't have access to this channel and also a few other channels that I run as well. And it's been frustrating. And so this recording itself took me a while because I was like, well, I can't post it. What's the point in finishing it off? So it just took me a while to actually get through this. I filmed this back in December. It's just taken me this long, which, you know, no shade to myself. I've been very busy. But, you know, time's ticking away here, Burrows. Jeez. So with the brain dump spread completed, we move on to something else new. I also decided to do a stream tracker or a content tracker, specifically regarding my content schedule for the month. And then also to track some analytics for my content on Twitch as well. I just wanted to kind of get an idea of how my content was going with different games and things. I love to look at numbers. I know that numbers are definitely not everything, but I do like to look at them and to kind of get an idea of where I'm sitting at. I love to see myself slowly improve, and I also love to know when something just isn't really working for me. Since completing this, funnily enough, I actually had the realization that some things weren't working. And so I went about changing that schedule and making it work for me. And it's really exciting to have that kind of self-awareness as opposed to just beating your head against a wall and wondering why it's not working. I did really love this page though. It's just simply a few boxes there that depict my Monday through till my Friday, just to get an idea of what I'm doing on each different day. I kept up with the gold gel theme throughout. This time, instead of the black, I used the blue Tombow pen there to just give in a little bit of color. And with a little bit of a splash of coffee in the sticker there in the corner, this one's all done too. And with that very simple setup, I completed my setup for January 2021. This month's been a time so far, but I still have hope somewhere in the pit of my heart. Anyway, I will leave you with my rambling thoughts at the end there to continue on and do better things, I hope, with your day. If this inspired you at all, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. Feel free to comment below or let me know on any of my socials. I intend on bringing some more videos to YouTube soon, some original content and also some game reviews, so keep an eye on that. And I promise before February, I will have posted the setup video for that without it actually being in the middle of the month. Promise.